Hello there everyone, and welcome back to more Total Warhammer multiplayer. I feel like just that one stream was not enough, and I kind of did tease doing a little bit more of the multiplayer, and as a result, I'm going to try and do it on a completely different day. It remains to be seen what kind of matchups we're going to get, if there's even anyone playing at this time. Which I'm willing to bet there are, they just might mostly be Beastmen. Which might not give us a huge variety of opponents, but we are going to see what happens regardless. Have ourselves a little bit of fun, maybe learn something along the way, since I do need to play around with the different lores of magic to kind of understand what their strengths are really. Since most of the spells I have been using are almost essentially support type of spells, and it makes it a little bit tricky to know what a truly dedicated offensive type of spellcaster can do. Otherwise, I think I'm going to play around with more of Oxyotl to start us off. And it is still a question on what am I feeling is weak with this army, since if they're going Beastmen, I definitely don't need the red-crested skinks. And we have a good amount of water here, which can be good for the skinks too. I definitely want them, or at least some mounted cavalry or monstrous creatures, which I already got the monstrous creatures covered. It just involves, of course, 2 Bastildons, which may not be all that exciting for people. Now, Tomb Kings, I'm expecting lots of armor-piercing potential here, and I need to be cautious of that. I'm wondering what will work good against them. Since we're going to have constructs to deal with, I kind of want to get the spears instead. For the off chance that happens, I do miss out on some damage potential, sadly, is what it's looking like. Which can easily be alleviated with some good wind blasts and other spells to complement them. That gives me a bunch of resources elsewhere. What would be good with dealing with constructs? Temple Guard is another thing. That kind of would work best as a defensive unit, if I'm so honest. And I don't really have anything entrenched that is going to be vulnerable, if I'm so honest. And I think these Stalkers can be good against the Skeletons. They just probably won't be worth their value if I keep them. I gotta pick quickly. Chameleon and Skinks are almost always the good one to go with. But with Silver Shields, that might not be impactful unless they're sniping like the big targets. I could take a horned one there, give me some more mobility, I guess. But with 200 gold, what can I get? Oh, I don't have the blowpipe, let's enjoy that. And 71 gold for something. What can I tweak? Damage resistance, and this is an aura buff, which could be fun, but ideally I don't want him to get in melee, even though it has seemed like it's been a bit tricky to try and utilize that. Since it seems like he has incredibly short range, oddly enough. And when I have tried to focus down targets, he seems to be more inclined to melee than actually shoot. These few matches with the Lizardmen, I definitely want to pay attention to how the Troglodyte behaves, if nothing else. And all the range is 120 apparently. I will keep that in mind. And otherwise, I can go with the Pog Hobart cohort if I want something a little bit different, since I'm kind of lacking Vanguard units. And I don't really have much anti-large wall. I do have Umbral Tide that could be good against them. Is this enough anti-large or armor-piercing potential? Since I don't think Chameleon Stalkers... I feel like the Stalkers don't fit in this army against Tomb Kings, if I'm completely honest. And that just affords me I don't have much of a front line, but then again, I don't have much of a back line either. I don't think it's too terrible. I just have 50 gold I need to spend on something. I think it's best to just play with the stalkers just so I understand them more, even though I seriously don't think they fit here. Sure, they can shoot at some skeletons easily enough, but I don't think that gives me the value I want with them. It is the predicament I'm having, and there's only 68 of them, which isn't really a whole lot in comparison to the skinks. They have the same number of the chameleon skinks though, at least. That's the only thing I got going for me. Oh, I guess they were AFK if I had to guess. Good thing I didn't start the battle, but it now means I have to change things up. I want armor piercing ideally now, since you have to be such a jerk and mess things up for me. Although our two Bastildon's useful here. I honestly wonder. I heard the Arca Sotek has been buffed. I'm contemplating utilizing it. But I think, yeah, I have the money for a solar engine. I think this will be a little bit easier to get value out of. And I can heal everything with the crystal. So I'm inclined to keep you in there. Now, is the Umbral Tide still warranted? I think so. Since the solar engine, again, from what I learned, is not exactly good against monstrous creatures. But then again, I have the Oracle and the Umbral Tide. I technically have two units that are good against large creatures, don't I? What would I switch it out for if I were to do that? I wouldn't mind more red-crested skinks, if I'm honest. It helps with my numbers. It helps quite a bit there. And now I can afford 4 of them, which I hope is a good choice considering the amount of elite units we might fight here. Then, if I'm good about controlling the Troglodon, it can snipe some large creatures, maybe. With the help of Oxyotl and the Solar Engine. But again, Solar Engine just wants to fight the weaker creatures. Otherwise... I probably should ready up there. This might have been an easy win for me if I'd done it like all the other opponents. Since right now it's just contemplating if there's ways I could do this better. And I certainly can, there are ways. If I want to simplify it with a second solar engine. I know a lot of people probably hate the solar engines as far as the multiplayer is concerned. I could theoretically get away with it here. Armor piercing. I'm trying to think what would be ideal again with the horned ones to go after. But we'll stick with this. Sticking with the simplicity could be nice when I'm experimenting with the Troglodon and Oxyotl. It probably would have been recommended. I just gotta keep... yeah, the chameleons, the red-crested skinks aren't going to be hindered by the water. My Saurus, alas, are kind of a necessary evil. Even if we're probably going to be fighting the water, they're not really amphibious. They're not going to get benefited. But at least the red-crested skinks do. If they can get in combat in the water, that helps. Oh, after all that preparation, there is no water. I was led to believe there was water when I looked at the map. I really do hope they improve that for Warhammer 3. I'm pretty certain that's the same kind of coloration as normal water, I think. Unless it's actually black, dark water, maybe. Well, that's unfortunate. Either way, there's a lot of orcs around here. Orc settlements of sorts. I hope they're sitting in the stands there getting ready to watch this bloodfest. That's just knocking on their door. It's because knowing my luck, they'll just come down here and fight the winner, regardless of who they are. Now, I think I want to stay fighting on the low ground, or at least stay away from giving them the high ground. If at all possible. Horned ones, let's see, I'm likely to get flanked over here. It would be good for, well, Troggledon can be decent there, maybe. Horned ones will cover a flank. The Stildons just are targets of opportunity, I guess. Yes, Oxyotls, time for you to have some fun. Now, I don't have a lot of range units, which means I have to be really damn good with my controlling the Troggledon. I almost want to put you in group 5 for that alone, but Solar Engine could be good. They're not going to have... I don't think they have very strong ranged units, at least. Oh, I should have had Oxyotl move on up. Okay, kill those Chaos Spawns. And let's try to do some damage. Oh, what's going on here? I don't know how I feel about that, but it happened. Solar Engine, what are you doing? I don't know yet. Oh, did I actually hurt myself quite a bit there? That's unfortunate. But let's actually get stuff in here, because I'm doing a bad job again of doing that. They are halberds, let's keep that in mind. Come on. I hope it actually worked. The Revivification Crystal, because apparently it didn't. Hopefully the Red Crested Skinks can do something here, because I'm wrecking the Chaos Spawns at least, but what's not fighting right now? A lot of things, actually. And apparently these hounds are just wrecking my skinks. I figured the skinks would actually be able to do better, but I guess not. Can I at least cripple these guys enough? Probably not. Just keep fighting, keep doing damage somehow. And just rampage through, ideally. Oh, these are horned ones. I was wondering, I'm not used to these new icons yet. Oh, Sigfall, he's just a duelist. I'm just wondering what I can attack next. If I'm so honest, because yeah, you're just terrorizing these poor things, that's fine. And hopefully we can do enough damage here. And what about Revivification Crystal? I think one of the mistakes I did was I ended up hurting myself. A bit of a problem. And apparently my Troggledon is content to melee, which probably means you can't actually see Sigfall if I had to guess. That's unfortunately what that tells me. So we're just going to have you turn and engage and do what you can. Just shoot at whatever the heck is available to you in that case. That's my entire thought process now. Oh, and they're breaking. Actually, get a nice solar engine shot in there, that'll be great. Oh, you used up all your ammo, that explains it. I hope it was worthwhile damage in that case. And now Troglodon just rush in there and mangle some stuff. And you have the speed, you should be okay here. Can I actually support these things enough? Please tell me you healed. Oh, it's because I didn't have the mana, that's why. Or I didn't have the Winds of Chaos, at least. Alright, go after Sigfall and hit him with the blowpipe. I've been doing a bad job using it, I will admit. But apparently it does crap against small targets. Judging by that missed shot. Now you cannot heal yourself, alas. And let's cold blood these guys. Dang it. I really don't need those icons blocking over visual, if I can help it. Actually, let's heal the Troglodon, because that'd be pretty useful here. Turn on Skirmisher mode and just keep hitting Sigfall as much as you can. Ideally, since he's not taking any damage, but he could have regeneration I'm not privy to. Alright, surround them, engage them, and get the hell out there, Oxyotl. Can I charge these things like a chariot and just get on through? Nope. Apparently even when they're moving towards me, they have so much mass I do absolutely nothing. Which is a little annoying. I won't lie. I expect these things to be able to charge through things even if they have charge defense. Especially when they're moving, for crying out loud. Maybe it's some weird mass thing I'm not privy to, but either way. Yeah, you are regenerating a lot of health, that explains it. Well, keep pepper him down. Keep pepper him down, and we'll see what we can do. Because we basically have everything else broken, we just gotta deal with Oxyotl. Or deal with Sigfall here. I hope I heal both of them. Nope, doesn't look like it. And let's see. Get one good shot on them. Not very impressive, but I'll go with it. Okay, they're shattered. Let's keep this rhythm going, shall we? Alright, Troglodon, you know what to do. Make like a devil and run for it. And let's see if I can actually hit Sigfall this time or not. Apparently not. Poor penetration, strong versus single combatants. There's one problem with this theory of yours. You need to actually hit the combatant. I get the feeling it doesn't work as advertised. And now Sigfoal's so slow he can't actually get after me. Even if I burnt all my ammo. I still can get recharged with the blowpipe. If nothing else, just gonna be a very slow process. Let's see, you're 40. He's also 40. I could just run all day, in theory. He's just regenerating freaking health, and not a lot I could do about it. And he's currently getting poison, which helps a bit. I could chariot charge Sigfoal really well, but okay, they're shattered. Can we just chariot charge this bugger? That's all I would like at this point, because everything else is shattered. Sadly, these sources aren't going to live. Alright, I still got some blast shots left. Probably didn't do a whole lot, but we could punt them around at least, which is helpful. Now, how close do I need to friggin' get for this blowpipe to actually do damage? I don't even think I hit him at all, which is unfortunate. But we are still getting some sort of damage in finally. Now that his friggin' regen's been dealt with. It's just going to be incredibly inefficient to try and kill Sigfoal off. And staying in the fight's a terrible idea, I won't lie. But he can't regenerate anymore. That's the only positive I have going here. Especially when he's running away from me like he is. Although I need my Troglodon to be running away when I tell him to. Since they are not the best of chariots, I think it's safe to say. And they're doing a terrible job actually damaging him. And I'm basically just gonna lose trying to do this strafing run, sadly. And now their control is going out of whack. I don't know what to make of that. It was annoying as hell, though. And I don't want to get the Source Warriors in there, because they're probably not really going to do a whole lot. Especially with the fact that Sigfoal has fear, does he? Oh, he doesn't even have fear. Yeah, these Source Warriors are basically going to die the instant they get in there, but... Oh. I'm an idiot, but I don't know if the Horn ones are up for a task either. If I'm completely honest with myself here. At least he's running away if I can get a good rear attack. Sadly, I don't play any more Armada 2. I would love to play more Armada, but... Sadly, the bugs there, and with them not getting fixed, is a bit of an annoyance. Yeah, that definitely was not worth it, sadly. Is what I'm seeing. I actually hit the bugger for once, which is a nice relief. I do hope they announce something at some point soon for Armada. I would love to play more of that. It's just the fact when I have to play multiplayers and my fleets are invisible for half the game, it's not exactly the most enjoyable experience, sadly. It would be nice if I actually remembered these guys, because there's a lot of them and they're armor piercing. And they have the speed that I'm lacking. Yeah, I'm still probably going to lose if I... Oh, there we go. Finally, the game is over. That massive morale means that we hit the threshold. There's some nice dynamic to it there that I like, because you can guarantee critical hits to cripple opponents, as opposed to Armada 1 where it's completely random. You at least can guarantee the... What is it? Yeah, when you kill 1/3 of the crew, you can guarantee a critical hit on the engines or a valuable generator, especially if you're facing off against Eldari, that can be important. And if you can kill off 2/3, then you're almost guaranteeing a permanent component destruction. I don't know what... I would argue for consistency base, it's probably better because it's more consistent that way. And you have a way to actually kill off crew, especially for those that are boarding centric, like maybe the Space Marines and the Tyranids. Although there was a brief period where pyro acid was prevalent for Tyranids. So, and even then they had the boarding potential to make that work. Hard to say how that would affect Drukhari though, since they kind of rely on killing off the crew potentially immediately too. But as far as being consistent and convenient, I want to thank Armada 2's boarding mechanic. Once they actually changed that to what it was, well, that doesn't mean it's stupid if it's too strong. It just means you could nerf it down if it really was oppressive. And it did get nerfed down, at least the light cruiser fleets, the Space Marines got nerfed down quite a bit. The light cruisers sadly were kind of nerfed into the ground. Saying it's stupid doesn't mean that Armada 1's better. It could have just been nerfed if it truly was as strong as you claim it is. And we could have kept that mechanic at least. No, I don't want to be Lizardman, especially if we're having a mirror match. Either way, what do I want here? I kind of want to go to Fey Enchantress again. But I'm going to need a lot of armor piercing. I don't even think I need shields, unless I'm worried about the chameleon skinks. Yeah, they was it? I'm trying to remember. After the first month, 2 months of Armada 2, they completely changed the boarding. Although, I don't know when you last played. So it had that timer where before the boarding actually did its damage. It wasn't instantaneous. And they definitely nerfed down the Space Marines, which the 6th Vanguard fleet was incredibly impressive with using the Honor the Chapter in the boarding damage, essentially. And of course, with how quickly they could grab objectives too. But I am talking too long, let's get this set up. I want armor piercing, and I would like some men-at-arms to kind of serve as a buffer. Although this is not a very good buffer. Do I have what I need? It's a lot of cavalry and not a lot of frontline troops, sadly. Can I just cut out one of these guys and get some more linemen? I think this serves me a little bit better because I want the armor piercing for the lizards. But even then, with the boarding damage, there is a way to mitigate at least burst boarding damage with the call arms that they have retweaked for said boarding change. Whereas you can take half damage so long as you have that active. The only downside is you're losing a lot of your firepower and mobility while it's active. And as a result, cold arms is only really beneficial for certain amounts of burst boarding. If they're guaranteed to kill off the ship, then there's no point in using cold arms, and they waste a lot of their boarding charges on a single unit, which can have its plus and minuses if done properly. Now, I don't have to worry about their siege, or their monstrous creatures' siege weaponry at least. But I do not like the idea of going over the hill. Maybe going up on the hill would be nice. It gives me bonuses, which can be really useful.
We serve our liege.
But otherwise, oh, more peasants. Oh, you're way over here, yes. Get back here, slacker. I thought I had less peasants than I actually did. Although now, that begs the question, where do I put them? Since sadly, my bowmen are really vulnerable, but I do have foot squires to help a little bit there. Yeah. I only have 3 cavalry units, so I should dedicate them to a specific direction and just doom stack a little bit. And then Luan could just cover the left flank until I have need of him.
This is my rail. Ready for orders. Battle ready.
Now, Relique, I don't know how effective you're truly going to be. Because again, I never did Bart the test, but I don't think this has the diminishing return on the leadership like it does with the Lord. And I argue, you only affecting 2 or 3 units is probably not worth it with how spread out I am. But let's give this a try. And at the very least, let's climb up the hill some. Okay, we got Chief, which we could shoot a bit with the archers, and I don't think I can hunt him down. He's 95. Oh, I go 100. Wow.
Riding out. Righteous fury. Hold true. The liar. The lady with
Well, if they want to shoot me with their ammo for really cheap units, then fine, be my guest.
Knights of the Ring. Immediately. Remember your vow.
Let's wreck these skinks and be mindful of the Croxgores.
Orders. Quickly now. Serve and obey.
Yeah, they are peasants, without a doubt, but...
Die.
And what lore is this? Korok.
Run.
So he's the tanky bugger.
Sons of Britannia. Post
Getting on up to the ground.
at once.
Come on, Leon, you can get up to the sky.
Withdraw.
Although my line's gonna get broken really quick here, aren't they? The skinks will die relatively quickly, but I need to get them
Defenders of the
into the back line of these guys really quick.
immediately.
Especially the back line of these sources.
Glory calls.
Left flank is broken, but
It is her will. Both ways.
yeah, just heal these guys up. Go in, do a lot of damage, and hurt them like hell.
Onions, attack. Yes, my lord. Ready for battle.
It might not be much of a hammer and anvil, but I will take it.
Aye. Post haste. Glory to Britannia.
Because Gorok is just a tank, so I am perfectly fine with him just
With all haste.
not really doing a whole lot if I can clean up the rest of his army.
My lord, we serve. Knights of the Ring.
Yeah, now go after the sources.
Moving at pace.
You guys are anti-large. You
Victory.
should be effective against the Croxgores. I just don't know how effective Luen is against the Croxgores.
Post haste! I honor my vow!
Oh, Croc scores are just getting murdered right now.
At once! With
I don't know what actually hit them, but they're getting murdered. And I will happily take that.
battle ready!
Okay, great swords. I think you're important for this.
My lady, grant me your sight.
Now kill the Croc scores, kill everything else. Gorok just wants to tie me up, ideally.
At once.
Although, my damsel's in a terrible spot, aren't they?
Charge! Swiftly! The lion's wheel! Advance!
Alright, Croc scores are getting wrecked.
Lady protects me! Quickly now!
Keep buffing the leadership of these guys, because keeping them alive is going to be important. And a little more healing for these guys.
I call thee forth.
And hopefully I should just be able to wreck these chameleons once I get some space.
With all haste! Fighting out!
Alright, alright, fresh peasant squad, you go fight the skinks, because you might actually be useful in that job.
Leg it! Okay.
I hate to admit, you might actually be good for that, although... We need the cavalry to get back in. I did not notice them going after the great swords. Hopefully they can stall long enough. And yeah, just kill the chieftain, that would be kind of nice.
In the light of the lady, for our lady.
Protect Bretonia!
Alright, chieftain's dying. Hopefully we can murder these things quickly.
On to glory!
And actually, you got encouraged. You would be good for over here some.
God help us! The lady
Oops, I didn't mean to move Luan.
King Luan!
But kill them off.
By the lady!
The lady wills it.
Get out of here!
What else can I heal? Just my Grail Knights is really all I could think of, as they are my most valuable units.
Grant me your wisdom.
Yeah, I really would like news of Armada 3 at some point, or at least whatever big Warhammer title they have, because I do worry if they were to be so ambitious to try something original that it would not work out well for them, since all their other games up to this point haven't really been very successful, but at the same time they didn't really have a sponsor either, or producer, or someone to help pay pay for the development of the game at the same time. Yes, now stab them in the back while they're turned around. Keep on shooting. I'm just wondering, what's the biggest threat to my Grail Knights at the moment? Since Kroxgors are anti-infantry, Gorok is just a tank, from what I understand. So he should not be very terrifying.
The true heart shall prevail.
And you should be able to kill the Scarf Veteran for me.
Of the lady.
For Britannia! Men of Bretonia! Swiftly!
I'm pretty soon gonna run out of troops though, let's be careful.
Help us! We obey!
At least these guys have perfect figure, they could just go forever and ever. Maybe not so much my Regiment of Renown squad, but they hit the spearmen really hard.
You require magic. Hurry.
Now the big question,
Grail Knight!
do I save my mana for a regrowth or just get a really powerful AoE heal from my cavalry?
Understood! To war!
Yeah, Scarf Veteran's been wrecked, we're gonna go after the Chieftain again and we'll have a speed buff for it.
By the lady!
I'm just not gonna be able to support my guys the best.
To honor!
Yeah, just get everyone here for a big overcharged AoE heal. Because they were moving, I should be able to wreck all of them. I just can't stay too long though, because that will cause problems.
I am king!
Ah, he's poisoning me.
Quickly now! Aye!
The Relique versus Skinks. I don't know if I want to find out how this is gonna go, since apparently my peasants could not deal with lowly Skinks. Which is kind of alright, they did their job. I'm still happy with them. And now I could just dance around this guy all day, basically. Just gotta make sure I don't deathball or stack them up too much. They should try hitting separate targets to be more effective. And now Luan, you debuff and enhance everything. We should hopefully just break them really quick. I think everything's breaking, it's just Gorok at this point. And that seals the deal. That scared me a little bit due to the fact that my left flank broke immediately. But is that really a surprise? Men-at-arms and peasants don't really survive very well. I'm thankful I managed to hold off their mainline charge with the Kruxgors and all the other heavy hitters. It's just not a conventional type of army, I think. All I really had to do was deal with these guys, and that was it. Since honestly, these guys did not pay for themselves because their ammo was spent on men-at-arms and peasants. You actually paid for yourselves, so I wonder who you were fighting. Well, 2 of them paid well. The other 2 did not, or at least the other 3 did not. I still argue it wasn't worth it. And these skinks were probably fighting the Relique, so they almost paid for themselves just because of that. And it's hard to say what else paid for themselves. It doesn't look like none of their main heavy hitters really paid for themselves, except the spears because they're supposed to fight against cavalry, which is probably why they did so well. Otherwise, let's try this again. I really do... Well, I was contemplating if I should try out Beastmen at some point, but I think I'm more inclined to try out Dwarves pretty soon, now that they have been reworked a little bit. That could be fun. The trick is, how do I make Dwarves entertaining to watch, since they have a bad reputation with them just turtling and boxing after all. Now it looks like we're going double Lizardmen. And I don't know what my ally's gonna get, but double High Elves interesting. Do I really want to go double High Elves? I just know I need a lot of armor piercing, and this actually makes my job easy to an extent, since I can just get a lot of armor piercing. I don't think I get really any sword masters though, since I'm going to be playing more defensive. I do want the Sea Guard in case of cavalry, and they'll be good against monstrous creatures. And I would like some siege weaponry too, but I think I have quite a heavy amount of range, and I'm just wondering how I improve this. I think I want silver helms to kind of serve as protection, and of course hammer anvil can always be nice. This would be my first time really using them. Just have them as protection for any mobility. But, I can get away with 1 siege weaponry at least. I would like to have some. It should hopefully pay for itself, since I'm really having difficulty making the Sisters of Avalon work for me. Lots of archers, lots of basic units. You will buff up the Sisters. I should... Yeah, healing would be good. What would I heal though? That's a bit of the problem. It's a good generic heal, at least for the White Lions. Oh, and I have 400 gold. I need to figure out what to do with that. Dang it. I can upgrade the shields, which is not all that helpful, honestly. I can take you for a little bit more power. And then Just upgrade the siege weaponry for a little bit of power. Well, I don't know if my opponent's... Well, my ally... I don't know what to make of my ally's army. Hello there, dog teeth. Welcome to some multiplayer. We're gonna play around with some of the new stuff. So long as I'm able to play as lizardmen or beastmen, which I don't even have an army assembled. I don't think I'm gonna play with them, but I am really contemplating playing as the dwarves at some point soon. Nah, I didn't even notice the map, which really benefits them because of the amount of large creatures they're going to have. But we could very easily just settle on the high ground. That should not be an issue. Although, I kind of like the idea of just sitting here, be prepared for any possible flanking, which is kind of what the Sea Guard will be helpful for. I don't really want a corner camp, but the map encourages me to kind of sit back, or at least stay on the high ground, away from all the marshes. Although, I wonder if my ally is going to move forward aggressively or not. That could change this dynamic a bit.
It will be done.
Orders.
Northern Sea Guard.
Yeah, you guys are going to be good defenses. You got shields, although I argue it's not really worth it unless you're fighting against chameleon skinks. Hell, these sea guards aren't really all that necessary because of the cliff ledge. I could double up over here. And I don't know what to do with the Silver Hounds besides just have them ready for any possible flank on the right here.
True magic is mine.
Northern Sea Guard.
Ready.
It's a pretty costly type of army, but it should hopefully work well. I just don't have spearmen, which my ally covers that pretty well with the amount of Phoenix Guard and spearmen they have. I'm just here to try and protect my range units. So hopefully they can do the damage necessary. And we'll see if they spawn over here or not.
Battle calls.
I just don't know what my ally is playing, if they're going to move forward or not.
Forward. Move. Loyal. Orders understood.
Nope, sadly I didn't get to split the weapon shots yet, but
Awaiting orders.
we're going to move the Sea Guard, since they're not in a very good spot for this.
For duty.
We will obey.
And then just have the Reavers keep an eye out for any skirmishers. Ripidactyls. Skink Chief. I'm just wondering if there's... I don't see their lords, so Oxyottl's probably around. And from what I understand, he is visible. Or at least his projectiles will be visible.
We go.
I just don't know what to look for.
Asser Archmage.
Oh, I'm wondering what that box icon is supposed to represent.
It shall be.
Okay, I thought I actually saw them, because I friggin' had units over there.
Observe my radiance.
Although, this won't be too bad still, but Alien Reavers are in a bad spot. I thought they would have detected them immediately.
Magic's unleashed.
Well, if you want to go after the Coloss... Yeah, that's not really a good matchup for you there, but I will take it.
Forward. Orders understood.
Eagle claw.
Now I just gotta... Yeah, focus my fire on this clump here.
Orders received. Moving out. Onward. We go. Ancestors.
Alright, heal up these guys a bit.
Behold my power!
I don't know where Oxyotl is yet, since it's safe to assume Oxyotls are lords.
Assyrians fire!
Because I'm seeing devilish shots over here.
Hoeth guides me! Yes?
Asa, move!
Loyal.
Although I'm not a fan of this leg, but we'll do what we can.
We will obey.
A feral Bastildon. Sadly, I'm not very effective against that, but I do have these
Northern Seaguard.
Sea Guard to be effective. Should they go after it now is the honest question.
At once! It is my goal!
For duty. Yes.
I want to do a breath attack on these guys, but don't think I'm going to be able to do that.
Assur Archmage!
Oh, dang it, you did a move order. That is unfortunate.
Setting
Oh,
forth!
there's Oxyotl, at least one of them. Ripperdactyl. They're getting wrecked right now, and they're about to break.
By the winds!
I think this is still a good trade for me if I can get the healing in. I just gotta get a good breath attack, which can be scary, due to how fragile I am.
Witness true magic!
There, that's a good hit there. Ah, my lord just broke because Oxyotl just immediately shot her.
Acknowledged. Northern Seaguard.
Oh, and they actually just straight up killed the lord, unfortunately.
Understood! For duty! It shall be done! It shall be done!
Understood.
Come on, Illyrian Reavers. I said I told you to go away there. You should outrun those things easy.
My power is yours.
It shall be done! Without question!
Double Oxyotl, but I don't think we'll be able to catch him very well.
Battle calls!
And I should be able to take these hits well, especially when I'm about to get a nice charge in here pretty soon. Illyrian Reavers are just late to the party.
Lacoy!
And I thought I had the bolts or actually shoot the proper target, unfortunately. But I didn't realize the move order.
Understood! Asa, forward! Quickly now! Battle calls! Setting forth!
Yeah, they just buffed themselves, that's fine, because we're about to murder them.
Acknowledged!
And you should not be very good at killing monstrous creatures in melee. Let's just force you to not be able to use your ranged attack.
Sail!
Even though I don't think they're very effective at it.
For Lothen! It shall be done! Without fail! White Lions! Move! For
Okay, the
Lothen!
Pale Death there, although you're not the best equipped for him. That's what we need the Sea Guard for.
We away!
White Lions.
And the Bastildon's not doing anything.
Pull back!
Apparently it's murdering my Illyrian Reavers.
Question.
So that's unfortunate. I was expecting a little bit more from these guys.
Forward, of course.
Huh,
Withdrawing.
conveniently these guys still have ammo.
Acknowledged. Asa, forward.
Asa, withdraw! Eagle Claw!
Yeah, unless I don't think we have enough troops to deal with these monstrous creatures, sadly. Having to get my lord sniped there is unfortunate. And it was really hard to see what Oxyotl was shooting at there. I know the one up front shot at my lord when I tried to do that flame breath. It seemed kind of obvious, but this was the entire reason I thought I was able to deploy here. Oh, it's probably because they could have deployed further. I had the Illyrian Reaver specifically for that. I just didn't anticipate just how far
Northern Seaguard.
they could actually deploy, I guess. And we still have Bastildon, 2 Troggledons, and The Phoenix Guard could do something, but they need to get melee and the game froze. And I think Oxyalo just kills off all our ground units relatively well. It's possible the Phoenix Guard could clean up the mess, but we still have Skink Skirmishers with relatively good ammo. The Pale Death's probably just gonna murder me. The White Lions are probably not best equipped for that, with what we've seen with the Illyrian Reavers.
For the king! It will be done.
But I don't really have much units left over.
Orders understood.
And sadly, Illyrian Reavers
We go.
were not up for a task, but maybe they can run down. Well, their simple job was to simply find any stalking units, which failed abysmally, sadly. If I had done that right, it would not have been an issue. They have spears, so they should be able to do some work to this thing.
White Lion. Understood.
But not with the chieftain flanking, though. They can mangle them pretty well. We're gonna show the source the door. Although,
White Lions.
I don't know if it's really worth it or not.
We advance.
And is there a way I can actually trap these skirmishers?
Go back.
Probably not. It looks like this is almost over at the moment. Yeah, that was a costly mistake. The idea was sound with the Illyrian Reavers, I just didn't actually put the time into looking for them. I thought they would have confirmed that there was some stalking going on there before, at the very start of the battle. But I guess not. They would have took a lot of damage from the skinks, sadly, but I wonder how well they would have hold. Since I'm pretty certain the explosive ammo would not get mitigated by shields if I chose to upgrade the Illyrian Reavers. But yeah, sadly they did absolutely nothing to the Troglodon. That was a little disappointing. Although Troglodon was like 1600 gold or something like that, wasn't it? I forget how much the Pale Death was, though. And the misclick with the bolt thrower certainly did not do me any favors either. Because that would have been pretty decent at doing damage to those monstrous creatures if I was able to hold the back line well enough. And honestly, just getting the Fireboard would have been amazing for that, because their fire resistance would have absorbed so much of the Chameleon Stalker's fire damage, for crying out loud. I would have still had to deal with Oxyotl, and if they had both Oxyotls in that corner, then simply put, my Fireborn would have probably got mangled really quickly there. I am wondering how my Archmage got damaged so much when she was on the ground. Sure, she was a big target, but again, there was only a single Oxyotl, and I don't think I saw a golden blowpipe. Which I don't even know how much damage that even does, because my one experience using it was on Sigful, and I don't even think any of those shots actually hit him. To my misfortune. So I couldn't even gauge just how impactful that thing really should be. Especially against a dragon where all three of those shots are likely to hit. Oh well, it just calls for me trying out Oxyotl some more, I guess. Hopefully using the blowpipe against something effective. Since I learned that thing is useless against at least small lords, or at least lords that are on just a regular cavalry mount. They have to be on a monstrous creature or something big for that to really, at least reliably hit, maybe? Otherwise, Oxyol is probably best against fighting just larger creatures in general. Just because how much easier it is for him to actually shoot at the cursed things. Unless he's in the flank, that would be the exception. It's a little bit easier, but of course, a lot riskier when he's kind of out on his own and they have the mobility to run him down. Since again, his projectile is supposed to be visible, and as a result, any warhounds or anything like that can just easily go follow the scent of the poison darts. Otherwise, we had a few string of good matches, or quick matches rather, and it looks like might be waiting a few minutes here. If it unqueues me again, that probably means there's no one in the queue. That's the assumption I'm going with, at least. I don't know if it's actually the case or not. But it looks like we have someone in the queue, but I'm willing to bet it's the 2v2 group again. I'm gonna go out on a limb to say... Otherwise, there's not a whole lot I can really do, sadly. I could possibly check the academy, although that cuts out the music, and that doesn't even give me the academy at all, does it? I was hoping maybe this could give us something to look at in the meantime, but terrible choice. It wouldn't be nearly as much of an issue if I could have noise, because at least then I would know if we get ourselves a match. Otherwise, what would I want to play next? I did hint at playing more of Oxyotl, but that's assuming my opponent doesn't go Lizardman as well. Although, I'm okay with a mirror match. Chances are, though, they would likely drop out at the mere notion of having a mirror match. Which probably doesn't do me any favors. It's a great way to test out the strengths and weaknesses of certain units, though, to see how they compare. Having the Chameleon Stalkers go up against some Source Warriors, and see if their explosive darts can at least cripple those things incredibly well. More than likely not win it, because why should they? But they still got friggin' explosive darts. Although, I can't remember if their melee attacks are poison. With that said, almost all of the skinks are weapons are, with the exception of the cohort and... yeah, just really the cohort. Yeah, it's just the storm weapon of the javelins that actually poison. That's where I was thinking. But maybe the regular skirmishers don't poison, at least in melee. But they have the poison darts. All the Pterodon riders, except for the fire boas, or fire leech boas, are poison. But that's kind of obvious. The fire leech does fire damage. Explosive fire damage at that. Oh, there we are unqueued. I wonder what that means. Well, we're gonna keep on trying though. I would like to get some more matches here before I call it a day. It was a good, strong, solid start though, with 4 matches back to back relatively quickly, but now it looks like we're having a bit of a lapse. But I am eager to finally get my hands on Battle Sector when that comes out on Thursday. I don't know if I really want to do the single player at all, since those are pre-generated missions, there's not a lot of variety between all the other YouTubers, basically. If you've seen one mission, you've seen them all, basically. I don't think there's going to be much interest in putting the YouTube videos of those. But I'm eager to try out some multiplayer while there's still a player base. That at least will be fun, so long as it doesn't be as bad as it was with poor Necromunda. XWD. I believe I encountered you before. I just could not recall from where. Now, Wastelands. I think I know what this is. High ground on the well, this is all high ground mountainous areas and it's low ground on the bottom. Since this picture does not help me at all. None whatsoever. It is an honest question if Oxyotl is good for this map, though. Since this almost looks like ledges here that I can't scale. And I have 600 gold for something. I want to play with the Troglodon more, which is why I'm going to keep the Mystic for now, just to understand its nuance. Although I could go with a regular Troglodon, but Rampage can be a bit... Excuse me. Rampage can be a bit problematic, though. Although, I have no idea what they're using. If they're going Beastman, then I don't need the red-crested skinks so much. And hopefully, Chameleon Stalkers can be effective against them, but... What else do I have? I don't have much in the way of mobility. I should change these to Spearmen just in case of the Gorgons and all that. And I want more mobility, simply put. I just don't think the Horn one's going to be effective enough, though. But I could get one more Stalker squad that will help buffer against the Gore herd a bit. I just gotta make sure they're engaging the most expensive one for at least the most value with their weapons. Bit of an odd mix, I won't lie. And Arcasotec, I don't know what to really expect from you. Hopefully this is not a mistake ranking you up. But what do I expect? Without a doubt we should see a Gorgon of some kind. I just gotta keep the Umbral Tide alive for that unit specifically. I don't know how effective Oxyotl is gonna be. And it looks like I'm stuck with the low ground, dang it. Which, oh no, I got the high ground, never mind, which actually works for Oxyotl and the Umbral Tide, I think. Never mind. This looks like there's no high ground. I don't know what this map's trying to tell me anymore. It's confusing me. And I don't like it. So sadly these are spearmen, but we should be able to deal with most of the Gore herd. I just need to prioritize these stalkers to make sure they do the damage necessary. Arcosotec, stay in the middle, you get in the biggest clump of infantry. I don't know where I want Oxyotl to go. Because the last thing I want is for him to get run down by Vanguard. Which is what they could be fielding. Oop, that was not what I want. There, fix that problem. Now, I'm probably not going to remember which Bastildon is which with these hotkeys, because I don't really use 6 and 7 all that well, honestly. And I need to put some muscle memory into doing that. I'm pretty good about number 5, because that's almost always my dedicated range unit. Lord, of course, self-explanatory, and my main hero or caster is almost always on group 3. I want to blast these guys hard, but I need to actually shoot these things first. Oh, dang it. I did not want you in there, bud. Let's see. And where's Arcasotek? I'm trying to find it in this mess. Okay, Doom Bowl. Now, Salamanders get in there, but they're just Doom stacking. Let's keep that in mind. Alright, get these guys in here. Up, I forgot about my my weapon there, and I actually am outrunning these, although it helps if he continues to keep moving. Alright, demolish these things quickly. Oxyal's having a hard time, but yeah. Keep moving. You're not moving, dang it. Although I didn't want my spearmen in there, but it is what it is. Yeah, they're just doom stacking, which is a bit costly, but if I could clean up everything else, that'd be pretty good. I'm just doing a terrible job using my other units, let's be honest. Alright, get the bracing. Do what you need to. Oh, and I did not get the blowpipe, which is unfortunate, but you can still do some damage to that Gorgon at least. Alright, get everyone in here, deal with that Doom stack, and actually just hide these things ideally, if at all possible. Because he's just Doom stacking, and that means Salamanders are going to do amazingly well here. I just gotta wreck their things. Destroy all their fun stuff. I guess I'm okay with them demolishing this Bastildon. Actually, I probably should disengage. With that said, that's what it's looking like. I didn't realize it was gonna die that quickly. Wow. Their units at least are dying. Oh, fire will there. I want these stalkers to be selected. No, I didn't want to. I tried to shift click and it selected all my units. Toggle fire will so they could do some damage is what the idea was. Salamanders are going to win the day for me here if they can continue to be unhindered. But it's going to be a tall order. Just destroy the Gorgon, that should help a ton. And then, although, sadly Arcasotek's not going to do much here. Hopefully it paid for itself with that one blast. Not really, sadly. And they have perfect figure. That's something that's going to play out really nicely here in the long term. As their units get more and more exhausted. Just kill this Gorgon. I do not want it coming back. Gorgon is dead. I'll deal with them later. Come on. You're so close to making it out. Why do you stop now? That is unfortunate timing. They just had to turn around at a bad time. Hopefully they can recover. But they're just gonna chariot escort him out. I still got my Cold One riders, surprisingly. I have a bad habit of doing that, forgetting my valuable cavalry mount. Which in all honesty, this is probably a good situation for him, with that said. Alright. Alright, get moving, Oxyotl. Apparently your Master Predator is not even on at the moment. And my spears didn't even do a damn thing. And now he's just gonna get knocked around into oblivion. Oh, you have Skirmisher on. He is a slippery one, but that doesn't do him much if you can't get in. Nope, he's pretty much dead. My spears did absolutely nothing, sadly. And now that's sadly gonna cost me quite a bit, I fear. It was looking so promising too. And then my friggin' spears aren't able to stop their charge at all. Let me at least break some of these units if I could do that quickly. Not likely to happen though. Unfortunately, I think this is over. Yeah, even my cavalry is getting demolished. It was looking so promising too. My Saurus warriors just didn't have the mass, so I think I came up with an idea on how to maybe fix that. Just tighten up the formation a bit, to at least stop them from charging right through. But I think this is over at least, sadly. Maybe that could protect Oxyotl if I had enough rows of spearmen to kind of stop their charge, dang it. And not having a golden blowpipe certainly hurt me quite a bit too. I forgot about the Bastildon, but I don't think it's going to amount to much with them and their armor piercing. What else have I forgotten? A lot of stuff, really. It has the armor, but they do have armor piercing. They're just effective against infantry. But we've seen how quickly they wrecked units in general anyway. And they have enough health, I can't quite force them to break. Yeah, this thing's gonna die quickly. And sadly, I'm so far away I can't support in time, can I? Even with the poison effect. Which I don't even know what Sotek's poison even is. All I know is there's poison. But yeah. It doesn't matter if they're anti-infantry or not. The Bastildon just did no damage there. It was looking so promising too. Oxyotl just could not be protected by my spearmen, sadly. That is quite the shame. And let me guess, we're gonna get ourselves a rematch, are we? Nope, someone else entirely. Nope, they just ditched. For some reason, they left. I don't know why they left, but... I want to say that was going so well, though. The only problem with having Spear Saurus is they can't really pin anything down. Okay, there's our rematch. Let's try this again. Although, Bastildons are... The Arca Sotek probably is not helpful in this matchup unless I kill off their Gore Herd almost immediately. Umbral Tide did amazingly, and with Stalk they can just harass relatively well. What kind of speed do they have though? 70 speed, that's not bad. It's just a shame. They almost made it out with the spearmen to kind of protect them, and they had to suddenly turn around from being attacked. Which is unfortunate. That ruined that plan entirely. Yeah, there's no way I could slow him down, is there? Try as I might. I can get movement speed, which helps, but... I just need something good against anti-large. I could get a chief with a teardown to help hinder him a bit. That could be quite effective. At least to soften him up and slow him down a bit. He doesn't really have armor piercing, it's the problem. I don't want Arca Sotek. Carnosaur could be fun, but... What else can I add? I like the skirmishers that just break their line really quickly, and then I have the spears at least to do something. I need something that's... I just need range, really, is what's effective. Really good range. Which I have... The... Dang it, what... I have the dang Troglodon, at least. So long as it doesn't get sniped, that's the problem. That's the only caveat there. I can get javelins, that could be useful. They won't have much ammo, but at least they could be good at chipping down those monstrous creatures relatively well. And then they can run down any gore herds that are kind of fleeing the scene. The only problem is Fireball doesn't work here because I have to keep moving. I can get physical resistance at least. Oxyotl has his blowpipe. And I can get a solar engine. Is that worth it? Or I can just get another engine. I can get the solar engine for the gore herd at least. Gotta keep the Umbral Tide alive somehow. Let's see, Oxyotl will give him will give this blowpipe a chance. And otherwise I can cripple their line really easily. And this gives us an opportunity to try what I said before. When I have low number of troops, just give them more rows instead of a wide column. That might help a little bit with dealing with their charges. It just makes it a lot more narrow. But it could do work at stalling them. Because we know the Umbral Tide could do amazing work here. I just gotta be able to support them somehow, which the cohorts with their poison can do that. Fast ready up, that's fine. I kind of already know what I'm going to be fielding. I just got to be better at controlling my stuff. That's always the caveat. Alright, Skinks, where are you going? Where's my other skink? Okay, way over here. Let's hope I don't screw it up this time. Oh, and I didn't even move Oxyotl at all, which is a bit of a mistake, but... Yeah, I'm already messed up on my control, because... Oh, let's see. Can I fire the golden blowpipe here? That would be kind of nice. Okay, they're broken. What do they have here? Okay, they brought Manticores, so that's probably some spell choice. Sadly, I did not notice that. Dang it. Oh, that wasn't the Trogodon, it's the Umbral Tide, dang it. I am just doing terrible, alas. Yeah, it just goes to show my terrible is bad, or control is bad. The camera angle doesn't help very much, I suppose, because I'm box selecting a bunch of things I don't want to select. Just keep running, and Oxyotl, just keep doing your thing, as much as you heavily can. And now that you actually are able to do your job now, just keep running and chipping. Oxyotl's in trouble, that is unfortunate. Come on, keep running, please. You're kind of okay still, but yeah, just keep on running. And hopefully I can hit with the golden blowpipe here. Respectable damage, but not a lot of damage. Now, what else am I missing? Yeah, you keep doing your damage, that's fine. Get moving, please. He probably gets to his destination way too fast, and that causes problems for me. Come on. It's annoying that I keep forgetting all my stuff. It's clearly the sign at the end of the day, because I am doing a terrible job controlling stuff. Oxyotl, you can get out of there. Oh, you have skirmisher mode on. Is that what's going on? Actually, you could fight this lord, as stupid as it sounds, and Oxyotl's dead, god damn it. My spears again did absolutely nothing, I guess. Which is unfortunate. And this is going to become an even bigger route than it was before. At this rate, because now I have no poison to slow these guys down. Come on, get moving, please. Why are these things... Why are you being so bad at control? That's annoying. That control was still terrible, sadly. I just left my chieftain to get isolated. Struggled on, I guess I did not pay attention to the Oracle enough because his move order was kinda not doing anything, and now I have no way to deal with these things. Because Umbral Tide got picked off immediately. I think what I need to do is stop charging forward as much as I need to. Because I have the range advantage, so I should be okay. You could shoot him, right? It's probably not going to amount to much. Okay, Lord is basically dead. Doesn't mean much at the moment though, but... I don't know if we're out of it yet or not. We still have to deal with 3 friggin' monstrous creatures. I don't know how we're gonna pull that off. Yeah, and that chariot just basically broke my guys immediately. Can we at least get a shot on these guys quickly? Nope, he broke. That was a bad choice, even though it did hit. Come on, guys. You can fire explosive shells at them, right? That was the entire reason I had you go in there. Alright, go engage these guys. Again, doing a bad job controlling this, but the chieftain should be able to win this fight. And then can show the Manticore the door. I just am doing a bad job of routing these units. Alright, you've got more gore hordes going in, but... Oh, this is actually about to break. I'm not gonna jinx it yet, though. Anything could still happen here. Since at the end of the day, I still feel like I might not deserve a win due to how badly I controlled this. But a good couple... I'm not dropping a bomb. As tempting as it is to drop a bomb. Alright, Skinks. You show him the door. And try and kill off this chariot somehow. Because the Skinks can easily keep up with these guys and force them out. And there is one more... Oh no, that's the Skinks in the corner. Now, if my chieftain could get some good hits in here, that'd be really nice. I don't want to jinx it, dang it. Because this feels like a worse performance than before, damn it. Now, what is... Do you actually slow him with your shot? No, you just reduce accuracy in the defenses, but still a hit. Still a good hit. Uh-oh. He's actually outrunning my chameleon stalkers just barely. But once they're all out, this hopefully... Ooh, that was a damn solid hit. Dang it. He's back. Now let's show the chariot the door and finish off this Gorgon. Come on, Minotaurs. Okay, that's better. It looked like they were fighting my Skinks for a moment. I was a little bit worried that that would end badly. It's probably not needed now because it was the cherries that give me this problem, but let's at least experiment with it some. Now, can we break this thing? Because its morale is dropping. The chariot lord's gonna be... The chariot hero is gonna be gone. And it's not very good at fighting people, although it is hurting the Bastildon. Probably a terrible idea to turn around, but I don't want to give it any more value than necessary. And it has broken. And that should seal the deal once this thing's out. Although it's still hanging in there. Well, that's an odd situation. How is it when I perform even worse, arguably, that I actually won against the same type of army? Clearly this is a game of RNG and not really of skill. That's the consensus I'm coming down to. Although the chieftain did still pay for himself, I'm pretty certain he was only 800 gold for the teardown and just for himself. You survived relatively... Yeah, you paid relatively well for your price, even though I completely forgot about your spells, sadly. Stalkers didn't do a whole lot, but... Again, it was terrible control. These guys, simply put, were supposed to help break the Gore Herd line as quickly as possible, and that way the sources are as strong as they can be for the actual fight. I'm still not happy with that match, though. What can we learn from it, though, is the honest question. Well, we got a little bit of experience with the blowpipe hitting the monstrous creatures. That's all I can really say there. But I felt like it was falling apart quickly because the Umbral Tide were doing so much damage the first match, and then they died immediately. Never mind that. Most of my units were still charging forward when they could have been shooting or doing other stuff. Realistically, I probably shouldn't run forward like that as aggressively as I am, since they're supposed to come to me when I have siege weaponry and the Umbral Tide. Ah well. I think I'm gonna leave it off there, because I don't know what to make of that match. Those para matches even. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I will see you next time.